Let's pull back. Let's go to the daily and see what's kind of happening here. We're still down stuck in this range. However, I was saying the range, like this was the top of the range yesterday, and we actually closed the daily candle above it. All right. So I'm kind of thinking, right, and we came down, we already wicked down the bottom to the open of the daily. And if you notice something about the daily candles, right, they always they swoop down, they claim the bottom and the tops of the previous day. That's usually what happens. Like let's just go back and see here. So like let's just pick a section. We'll start here. All right, so I mean, obviously, you have this green vector candle. We didn't get a whole claim on that one. That candle's just too massive. But this candle, right? Claimed it, claimed it. This candle, claimed it. This candle over here, claimed it, wick down to it, got it. This candle, claimed it. This candle, claimed it. This candle, claimed it. So you get the idea. The daily likes to always kind of go down, claim the bottoms of the previous day and the tops, and just depending on the momentum that we're in, the trend that we're in, it's just going to be closing down below or it's going to be closing high, right? So today, right, we're starting off. I mean, it obviously half the day is already. I mean, we only got 9, almost 10 hours um, left for this candle, so we could still see it close up here. Um, but it's like, and I do get a little bit more bullish. I mean, we have VWAP coming here on a daily. We still have a green money flow on the daily. Um, it's just a matter of um, will we be able to hold on to staying above these levels here? I'm expecting, let's go down to lower time frames, and I have other levels marked off here in the red lines here. Um, so I'm expecting, right, we're trending up, we're getting higher lows, higher highs. Um, we're having a hard time getting above this level of resistance. These levels of resistance, we're having a hard time. We're back down into the range, back below, down below resistance here on the 4 hour. These levels up here are levels that I had marked that said, okay, I think we have a chance to come up to these levels. Level one has been marked, right? We've already reached it. We got a rejection. Tried to come up and maybe get higher highs. Maybe we still do. Um, but as of now, it's failing. And I'm thinking we could come up to this level here. Why these levels? What? Well, one, we have the moving average. Right? These are some supports and resistances that I took, and also we have moving averages. 50 moving averages up here, 200 moving average here, 50 average. It's getting really coming into the 200. When if the 50 crosses that 200, that is a big bear sign that we are going to lower lows here. So I'm really kind of waiting to see what happens up here. I mean, are we only going to be challenging the 200? Are we going to challenge the 50 EMA? Um, that those are the questions I'm asking myself as I'm looking to get into a potential short here. Because we really have, I mean, I thought maybe we would get a nice like spike or a candle or something just to get up into this level. 18 about, yeah, 1800-ish or high 17s here. Um, I thought we would be able to get up there, but I'm starting to think that we could just be running out of steam down here, and we could just be getting lower. But right, just give it time, and we'll see. Because I mean, these other levels of resistance up here that I'm expecting us to kind of get, I don't know if we're going to get up here. I'm getting less and less hopeful about that one. On the daily, yeah, we're still on this giant red wave. Yeah, the money flow's coming up, but we could still be um in for more dumpage here. Weekly, how is weekly looking? See, weekly is looking like, guys, this pump is dead. Why is it saying that? It hasn't printed that. What a little weird fib here. Not hasn't printed that, right? The kimono wave hasn't said, all right, we're going down. We're going down. Hasn't said that yet, but it's giving us signs, right, that it's going to be doing that. One, we have the trend bar up here, and that's telling us it's red. It's a red trend, so we should be looking for shorts. Here, VWAP is pointing down. RSI pointing down. Wave could be caressing here. So it's looking like we could be done, right? This pump was nice, but this week here, I mean that engulfing candle here. I mean, oof. I usually call it engulfing candle if it does 3 candles. So this one's kind of a little stretch for me to call it engulfing, but still 2 candles pretty good. 2 candles, I'd call it engulfing, sure. Especially on the weekly. Yeah. Okay, I'd call it. So let's see if we can get this week is like nice, right? Look at this little guy. Look at this little guy still trying to hang on here for this week. And it's hump day, so it's like what do you think the chances are here? What's the chances of this week, right? Coming up and reclaiming this candle and we're popping up. What's the chances of that? Probably pretty low.
Yeah.
Versus the chances of money of just candle coming
50,
up
50 bet. Yeah.
and just coming back, and we just keep seeing this weekly trend go down. Because on the weekly here, I mean, yeah, it looks like we go for lower lows. Now given, right, where's September like 15th area? So this is the 12th of September. So this week, right here, this zone right here, this is where we're gonna see the merge. So I'm wondering if we kind of get a dip, maybe we hit
the merge.
Right, we hit some support, and then we get a pop on the merge. Or maybe all those bugs happen, and it just the FUD.
The bugs. Oh boy, the bugs. It's like Y2K all over again. Feeling Y2K vibes.
I wonder how many of our viewers are old enough to even remember Y2K. Were you guys
God,
alive?
don't make me feel old. I mean, if our viewers are that young, then wow,
bro,
I'm out of touch.
Bro, you'd be 22 years old if you were born.
All 15. Our viewers are probably all 15.
Yeah, they don't know what Y2K is. So, anyways, Google it. It was a good time. If someone's made a YouTube series on it, I'm sure. Go watch
yeah, dude. Yeah, has anyone made like a Y2K hysteria documentary? That's funny. Dude, just like all the people that were stocking up, preparing.
Well, I remember when at midnight, right? Y2K, they were like, "Oh, the power's gonna go out and everything."
That, yeah.
And
people were nervous. The power was
at midnight. Right? At midnight, right? They I forget who did it, but anyways, family member
turned off the power.
Yeah, went to the breaker box and right at midnight turned everything off. And so like I was freaking out. I was like, holy shit, it happened. Y2K freaking happened. Turn the power. And I remember looking outside. I'm like, why is that neighbor's lights on? Why is that neighbor's Christmas lights are on? And all this stuff. And they're like, oh, they had backup generators. They were all prepared and stuff. And I'm just like, we weren't prepared. What are we doing? It was funny.
Oh my gosh!
I was only 12 years old.
Y2K was a good time. Yeah, it was a good time. I remember the tension was high. I was excited too. Yeah, I was stoked. I was like, yes, something's happening. That's all I felt like when I was that age.
When you're young like that, you kind of like,
you just want
how fucking morbid is that? You wanted kind of doom. You're like, cool. You get excited for tornadoes and natural disasters and
Oh,
wars. Like you
that's
get like just like kind of pumped,
that's probably
just like
I don't know.
something's
I
cool gonna
wonder if
happen.
that's a uniquely like Western kind of cultural phenomenon because things are just kind of like
So
a little
fucking
too
lame
cushy
here.
here.
It's too
Like,
easy here.
yeah, so
It's like
it's
the only
like
complaints we
yeah,
got
yeah,
is like
like
how
oh,
far we gotta
excitement,
walk to
hard,
school
some
or what
kind
we
of
had for lunch or something.
potential hardship gets you excited. Oh boy, we're in a weird place.
And then you're an adult and all that kind of
Yeah,
disappears. Anyways, all
I
right.
still
Well, we're
like to
not
go
this is
outside
not this
during
show. That's not
tornadoes.
this show.
Can we just
I
pull up
was
the
putting
weather map? Can we just pull up a weather map and start looking at what the weather's going to be like today across the country?
right. Um I wanted to pull
Up
this up
there.
because I mentioned this on Twitter. This is more so on Bitcoin, but Ethereum here, right? Okay, so we had this trend that we broke, right? We broke this on Friday, I think it was. Um the breakdown that I missed generational wealth on because anyways,
Mhm.
I don't want to talk about it. That I thought I was in the order here. I thought I had that short, but the order didn't actually I didn't actually fill it because it's a human error. Anyway, the trend breaks a trend, or yeah, when the trend breaks a trend, when it breaks a trend like this, a lot of times you expect price to come up and like just challenge the trend again. Um, and then bounce back down from that. And so I was in my plan. I'm like, okay, that's what I'm really waiting for. But at the same time, I'm not seeing the moving averages. Like I'm not finding a lot of confluences there, right? There's not like moving averages up there that I'm expecting price to come challenge. There's not um yeah, it's kind of a dead zone. Like just here on a daily, right? All we did is come up, attempt the 200 challenge, failed, and we're just back down here at the 50. Could we get a bounce from it? See, that's the only thing is like to me, I'm like, that's the only level of confidence I really have is that we could get a bounce from the 50 moving average here. But it's we actually broke below it, and now we're just trying to actually get above it, and it's we're having a hard time, right? So
Mhm.
I'm kind of thinking, yeah, I'm just gonna watch closely. Like this could be it. This could be our tops. The price here on a daily could just challenge. I think this is the 13, 15 moving average here. Um, and then bounce down. I mean, we're just right now. We're getting a rejection off of this. Like, was it 9 moving average? I gotta get my movie. I could never remember, dude. I'm horrible. I'm just like 5 and 13, 5 and 13. Um, yeah. So it's kind of. I'm not. It's just like again. I was hoping that we could get these higher prices before we got down. It's just looking like we might not have that oomph before we kind of just start making our way down here. But this makes sense for us to, I think, right, to move away from the 50 MA, come back, consolidate, hang out before we get a rejection back down. Um, 50 MA is still very far under the 200 moving average, so still very bearish. So, during these times, I would bet that number goes down than up. Now, with these trend lines, there's something on Bitcoin I wanted to point out. I mentioned this on Twitter because just depending on where you're drawing your trend lines, and this is why trend lines are good, but they're also a farce, right?
Whoa,
It's
whoa,
kind of
buddy,
delusional. They are, dude. The trend
whoa,
lines are
buddy,
delusional, but
whoa!
sometimes we all need a little delusion in our life. All right.
How
Um.
dare you attack the trend lines like that?
Oh, I don't care. I don't care about your feelings, bro. All right. So,
Care about your trend
god
lines?
damn. So as you can see, we could draw two different trend lines here. We can draw two different trend lines. All right. And basically, yeah, depending on who you are and you're looking at this. Like yesterday I saw these two respectable traders on YouTube, or I'm sorry, on Twitter, both posted up two different scenarios on Bitcoin. They look just like this. one guy was saying, look, we broke the trend. Now what? I'm waiting for this, and then we're gonna come down like this, right? Just like I was saying, challenge the trend, and then get rejection. That's what he was basically mapping out. He's saying we've already broke the trend, we're done for. We're just waiting for the clean rejection, and then we're done. The other trader, Trader B, said, "Hey, we are in this trend. Will this trend hold? Will it hold? Supposedly, we're still in it. We're not out of the game yet. We're still in the trend. So just depending on when you draw these magic lines, you're thinking that the trend's done or the trend's staying in it. It just depends on how
Are
you
you
how you
accusing
see
them
the
of
world.
pseudoscience?
No, everyone, no. I mean, because TA
Just trying to
isn't
stir the
science,
pot.
dude. TA,
Oh,
see, like the thing
oh boy.
with TA is that there isn't.
Just kidding.
There's not like wrong or right ways to do things in TA.
True.
The thing is just whether or not you do your thing and you
If it
stick
works
with
out for you.
your thing, and that's it. Like this one guy's way, this is his way. This is what he does. He says, "We've broke the trend. I'm waiting for the rejection down." Um, Yada yada yada. This guy probably has a lot more hopium, right? He's a lot more bullish. He's a lot more. He might be more of a hodler or something. I don't know. Um, but I'm not. Anyways, it just depends on how you're looking at it and whatnot. Me, I just go with moving averages, support and resistances, and what is our handy dandy kimono wave doing down here? On the daily here, we're getting VWAP curving up. How's that money flow looking? Money. See, when you see VWAP coming up and the wave starting to curve up, but you see that money flow wave
Yeah,
just getting thicker, like to me, that says, okay, we can get pump,
but
but
not.
it's like
Yeah,
a scam pump. It's a
yeah.
scam pump. It's just a pump. Get rid of a quick dump afterwards. That kind of thing. Um, Now this is daily, so it does look like, hey, we could be actually getting right. We're getting some upward trending movement here, but this could be just the start, guys, of what I call a tidal wave, kind of like this. This is what I call a tidal wave on the kimono wave, where you just get these dots, sell, buy, sell, but right, you just get like a just tons of and really all it's doing is doing one thing, and that's tanking. That's all it's doing. It's
Yep.
just tanking. So this could be the start of the next tidal wave as we kind of just go and just start getting hammered here while we get some lower lows. Um, that's what I'm looking for here on this massive, right? So I have this on this daily chart. I had this volume, fixed volume range pulled for just this little range that we've had at this bottom. And as you can see, yeah, there's point there. Here's a node to take note of. Here's another node to take a note of. Could probably maybe even put a couple there. And then of course the point of control here, right? It's just the price, right? And anyways, we have our volume low, volume high. All right. And really you'd expect price to kind of hang out in this range. And right now, I mean, all price is at right now is at the point of control. So what can we expect? Well, a bounce up. See, this is where some confluence happens, where we're like, hey, we're in this range, bounce up. Maybe we don't actually challenge that. Maybe we just hit resistance up here. Maybe we hit resistance up here before we start coming down. Um, that all could still happen. Not I don't know, man. I'm pretty pessimistic when I'm looking at it because I'm like, I don't think it's gonna do it. I don't think so. Why? Because these moving averages are, we basically had a fake out on the moving averages. Moving averages came up and then it came crashing back down below the 50 moving average pretty quick. Right. It wasn't It's not like, we really needed that bounce, right? We needed to bust through the 50 EMA and bounce off of it. And for me to really feel hopeful about this. So really since we are such in a bear still, I'm expecting a rejection if we even get a challenge up there. If we do. Um so I mean, because really looking at this, if you're just looking at this as a range, well, what do? I see, okay, here's the top of the range. Clearly hit the top of the range. We broke down back into it. What would be the next step? The bottom. Getting to the bottom of the range. That would be the next step. So
Yep.
I would so again, I'm not like super my best optimism I have for you, the hopium is that we get up there and we challenge the trend and we get a rejection down. Maybe that other trader's right and we're still in the trend and we're just gonna keep moving up. Maybe. Maybe. Um, but so yeah, it's really depending on where you're drawing those levels.
Hmm.
The trend's still your friend or the trend's not your friend. That's up for you to decide.
Mhm.
Me, I mean, I'm more in the macro trend mindset, and we are still going down. Because one thing you can do on this right now, actually, here I'm gonna do a little fib trick. Let's do a fib
Oh
trick.
boy.
We're gonna do a trick with the fib. Trick
I'm
with
not
the
sure if I
fib.
should be
Let's get
excited or
this
scared.
both. Both.
Great.
All right. So with the fib, right? And I have this on its natural setting, so when I pull it, it looks like you guys. I kind of feel like with my customized one, it kind of looked like scam because it just didn't look like everyone else's when they pull fibs. Um, so here, all right, so we got our fib. Most important levels that I'm looking at 0.382, 0.5, 0.618. And right under here is where the golden pocket is. Right here. That's the golden pocket. All right, right underneath the 618. And then you have your 786, which I like too, because it's kind of like your more exaggerated level. I mean, on this fib,